Juan Torres, who you see in the blue trunks, is a fascinating character. He didn't make his pro boxing debut until he was 31 years old. He was 24 years old when he first started in jiu-jitsu. He's done MMA, Muay Thai, bare knuckle boxing. He had been over 300 pounds, so he came in at 250 right here. He was a defensive tackle playing Division II ball in Louisiana. And now he's 33 years old. Pro boxing debut was at 31 because he's a full-time special education teacher. So he works in the Huntsville Independent School District, and he runs the behavioral support classroom at his school. And when you visit with him and you talk to him about it, he has such love and care for these children.
Yeah, Tessie has a big heart, and he has a fight desire.
Perez has fought as a cruiserweight.
Watch the head.
He's 29 pounds lighter in this matchup than his opponent. He's a native of Puerto Rico, but lived most of his life in New Jersey. Has family and friends there, and now based out of Florida.
Stop!
It's gonna be careful your head. Watch your head.
Perez trying to create some separation with that right hand.
Yeah, look for the right hand of Hector Perez, because he's fighting against a southpaw in Torrez. The right hand is available against a southpaw.
The fight for Perez is in the center of the ring. He's got the speed advantage. He's got the skill advantage. This is exactly where Juan Torres wants to fight. Perez has to get off those ropes and get back to the center of the ring. He fights with his back, and I mean Perez fights with his back against the ropes, and he's just swinging wildly. It turns into a 50-50 affair. If he boxes, he's got the advantage. Just like that.
Yeah, there was a right hand that landed as Torres dipped and went to his left a bit. Our heavyweights here coming to the end of round one, working our way towards the main event. Hector Perez was 9 of 36 in that first round on punches. Juan Torres was 6 of 39. We told you Torres' backstory. A late start to boxing, was a 300-pound defensive lineman in football. Made some separation there with the left hand and the big southpaw. Then went to Muay Thai, MMA, bare knuckle boxing. Timmy, when we visited with him last night, he said, listen, it's tough for me on the boxing side. I have to give it so much time and attention because it's so much more technical, and you really have to consider your footwork. He said boxing just takes so much more focus because you have to have your footwork right.
Keep your hands up.
Well, fighting Muay Thai and also fighting as an MMA fighter, you know, their stance is a lot different than a boxing stance. You know, the MMA fighters, they square up a lot more because they got to worry about leg kicks. A boxer is a little bit more narrow and a little bit more angled. So he said that was the hardest thing for him to adjust to, and he said he's been working on it. So we'll see if it's working today. Right now, he's just mauling right now.
Torres sweeping with a left and a right. And now back to the center of the ring, Dre, where you said obviously that's where he would have the advantage, and he shoots off that quicker jab.
If he wants to have an easier night and take less punishment and build up more points and get his hand raised, and I think that's the objective.
Yeah, Perez is a natural cruiserweight. He came up in weight to have this fight against Torrez.
Good jab right there. from Perez.
There's a slip right there. May have been the logo as he awkwardly came forward with that left hand, was off balance. Could have been some moisture on that logo on the canvas.
Essentially what Perez is doing is slowing down the pace of the fight. He's limiting the amount of times that Torrez gets close and can land a big shot. He's piling up points. He's looking good doing it. His corner's happy. He seems to be more happy. So this seems like the right game plan to me.
You see when the southpaw and the right-hander, you see their lead feet are on the same side. So you're going to see a lot of, stepping on each other's feet, trying to get control outside. On both fighters. You see Perez get his left foot outside that time and landed a nice jab in the combination right here.
Good combination that time from Perez. 3 months of what our country, what our world has been dealing with as a frontline worker. His conversation with Mark Kriegel is coming up in moments. Then it'll be our main event coming up. Joshua Greer Jr. against Michael Plania. That should be a good one. Right here, round number 3 of our heavyweights, Torrez and Perez. Fine work from Perez at the end of round number 2. He had a 10-3 connect advantage in that second round. Bernardo, what are you hearing out there?
Well, Speedy Fernandez told me, look, we just got to keep working, keep him busy, keep him thinking about the overhand right coming over his strong hand, and we got to feint first, not just let him come straight in.
Fernandez is the trainer of Perez. Trying to time a right hand.
Hands free, guys, hands free. Let him go. Stop! Here we go, I got it. Nice.
I like the fact that Perez has landed a lot of jabs against the left-handed Torrez. A lot of times there's a misnomer out there that when a right-hander is facing a left-hander that you can't land the jab. That's not the case, and Perez is showing us that here tonight. It's all about positioning, it's all about range, but that jab is actually closer, that face is closer to you as a righty facing a lefty than if you were facing a righty. It's all about timing.
Pick him up.
Torres at this point is just trying to figure out what he needs to do to get to Perez. I mean, everything he's tried hasn't worked so far.
Hands free.
But when he gets inside where he wants to be, he needs to operate those hands. But how can you deliver a power shot when you're squared up like that? He needs to get that back leg behind him so that way he can have more leverage on his punches and create a little bit more space so he can let his hands go.
Stop!
Tim, I think Perez is making Torrez work so hard to get inside that when he finally gets in there, he's got nothing left to get anything off. He really wants to rest inside instead of working.
Well, he's there. He needs to get those hands working because that's exactly where he wanted to be. He worked so hard to get there, so let those hands go.
But that's the 50-50 type of fighting I was talking about with Perez. His back against the rope, swinging wildly with his chin in the air. Torrez can sneak something through if Perez isn't careful. Just like he almost did right there.
Keep him up. Stop! 10 seconds, here we go.
Separation in this game. Well, the success has been not all that consistent with Mr. Torrez, but at the end of that last round, Timmy, we saw him fill up a left hand that showed us something.
Yeah, this is exactly what Dre is talking about. 50-50 exchange in the inside. You see Torres right there. You see Perez lifting up, trying to get some space, and he gets caught with a nice sweeping left hand from Torres.
And it goes to the body here. Just haven't been enough of those spots for him.
You know, Torres is trying to lean all this weight on Perez, trying to wear him down, and trying to take as less damage as possible, as less leather as possible. That's the reason why he's in close right now.
Outweighs him by 29 pounds. A short left hand that time from Perez. Once again, Torres Dre just leaning on him here in the middle of round 4.
Stop! Here we go, here we go.
A lot of times, Joe, fighters, they don't know any better. They like to rest on the ropes, and that habit is picked up in training. Your coach has to teach you how to rest at range. Rest while you're still working your jab, you're piling up points, but you're resting. It's a subtlety in the game, but it's really, really important. You don't want to do good work like Perez is doing and then go to the ropes and allow your opponent to take some ground back. Not a good place to rest if you're a young fighter against the ropes.
And also, Dre, look at his back. Look at Perez's back against the rope. All the young fighters out there. That is the wrong way. When you get near the ropes, you need to put that back leg behind you. Okay? Use that as an anchor there, as a measuring stick, to get yourself up off the ropes and give yourself an opportunity to go left or right. When you're squared up, there's nothing you can do. Can't go anywhere. Both these guys are tired. They're winded. They're tired.
Stop! Stop! Hands up! Hands up!
Seen a lot of this in round 4.
Bien. Baja el swing. Ahí. Bien.
Big man Torres leaning on Perez. Mark, that's a big man with a big heart.
We asked Torres yesterday, what does it really take to teach special ed? He says, a lot of love. I was one of those kids. Not only does he teach special ed, though, not only does he fight every discipline known to man just about, but in the last year he's adopted 2 kids, a 3-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. I said, how do you do that? Well, I rely a lot on my mom. What do you take into the ring with you, we asked. He goes, well, I get in the ring, I just want to kill everybody to provide for them. I guess that's a form of love.
I guess so. Right now he could use a surge of aggression.
Bobby, hurt him in the body, man. You ain't doing this shot in one time. Bring that left hook out. Come on. 2-3.
Our heavyweights headed to round 5. 2 rounds to go here. Perez has outlanded Torres 49-28.
You know, guys, I don't mean no disrespect to any of these fighters in here. You know, it takes a brave soul to enter this ring, but this is the most sloppiest heavyweight fight I've ever witnessed, honestly. You know, these guys are sitting still, not doing too much, laying on each other, you know.
I got to slightly disagree with you, Tim. It's sloppy in spots, but when Hector Perez is boxing from the outside, he's using that jab, and he's landing those right hands. I like it. It looks good to me.
Dre, you got your glasses? Put them on.
I don't have
Put
them
on your
tonight,
glasses,
but
Dre.
I think I'm seeing properly.
Please put them on.
Body, one. Change your level.
Bien, bien, bien. Muy bien. Inteligente. Sube la mano, defensa.
Torres looking, he's stocking, looking for one shot. And that's the left hand, either to the body or to the head.
Yeah, the conditioning of Hector Perez is starting to fail him a little bit. He's winded. That's why he's allowing Juan Torres to get inside and do what he's doing. And that's why we haven't seen much offense from Hector Perez. It's because he's tired.
He's been tired from the first round, Dre.
Come on, Tim. Come on, Tim. The first round?
He's been tired from the first. He's been tired from the first round. This has been happening from the first round on.
Give him some credit, man. Come on.
Good jab right there.
Jab right there from Perez.
From Perez.
This is what Trey was talking about.
Okay, stop. Time.
Get the low blow stoppage here. As Torres will take his time to recover.
Good time. Yeah. I know. Let's try to keep him up, okay? We got deep on him.
Oh, yeah, that was low.
Get the tape ready over there. Get the tape ready.
Very low.
Good? Good? And you stay back here. Come over here. Come over here. Get the tape. Get the tape.
Some loose tape that they're going to.
Some much needed rest and breather for both of these guys, Joe.
Well, Torres, of course, is afforded the full 5 minutes for recovery there.
Okay, good. Okay, back over here.
Well, I just hope they come out swinging.
Come in. Keep him up.
Swinging here at the end of this, Timmy.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. About time. Give me some action, baby.
Último round. ¿Cómo te sientes?
How do you feel?
You got this, bro. Be smart. Don't go crazy not the end, right? Last round coming up.
Ya, last round. Te tiene que saludar ahora.
You gotta go out there and show something.
Por gusto.
Hey, just don't take shots. Just take them.
No busco. Sí. No puedo coger golpe por gusto.
Don't take
Ahora es
shots,
el
okay?
último round. Son 3 minutos de pelea lo más
This is the
inteligente.
last round.
Tú vas ganando
That's
bien
3
la pelea.
minutes. Be intelligent. You're winning this
No le
fight.
regalo nada.
Step
1-1-2.
Okay, 1-1-2 all day this
1-1-2.
round. Come on.
Here. 1-1-2. We gotta have it. 1-1-2. Trust it. Let it go.
Inteligente, no busques
It's
que
there.
cambie point.
Let it go.
Well, one side saying you're winning the fight, and go out there and do your thing, and that's Perez. The other side saying trust it, gotta have it. We're going to double up that jab and then send the left hand and hope that something comes. There is the left hand, slow and deliberate from Torres. Start of the 6th and final round. Perez seemingly in control.
It's when he wants to be, Tess. You know, and the reason why I say this, Tess, you know, is because these guys have a great golden opportunity. They're on a huge platform on national TV. They probably would have never got this opportunity, and it's here. And they need to do something about it. Take advantage of your opportunities when they present themselves.
Yeah, and there's no probably about it. This is what you get with boxing returning. This is only the 3rd nationally televised fight card back. And just having gyms open, not many gyms have been open in recent weeks. To be able to fill out these fight cards is a great challenge. So unique opportunity for fighters like this to get TV airtime. Thus, Timmy, your comment at the sloppiest heavyweight fight you've seen, because as a world champion, you were always still back in the locker room getting ready. You weren't out with the rest of us watching the early fights that aren't on TV. We've seen some bad ones, Timmy.
That's not true, Tess. I had to come up the hard way just like these guys. So I've seen the guys on the way up. Trust me.
Joe, I don't think it's that. I don't think Timmy was just in the back. I just think Timmy's the older fighter now, and he is very, very hard to please.
Oh, is he ever?
Dre, go get those glasses, Dre.
There's that jab.
Good shots from Torrez right there.
That's been his best work throughout the night, is when they're at range and he can fire off that jab.
Joe, Perez has fought a decent fight, like we said in spots. Good jab right there as Torres came in, but just doesn't have the conditioning to go to that next gear and close the show, where he could have actually looked spectacular tonight. He looked good, but he could have been spectacular if he came in a little bit better shape.
Well, if you want spectacular, wait around for our main event. We have 6-round junior middleweights coming up, and then the 10-round bantamweight main event between Greer and Plania. Mr. Don't Blink, Mr. Night Night, Joshua Greer, who brings a pillow to the ring. A contending bantamweight looking for a world title. Proud of his Chicago roots, returned home to train for this fight, and he'll be coming up in our main event.
Good job, good job. Good work, guys.
The Filipino Plania. Let's find out how the judges saw our heavyweight fight. Here's Mike Chinook.
Here inside the MGM Grand, after 6 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Eric Cheek scores the bout 60-54. Patricia Morse-Jarman and Ricardo Ocasio score the fight 59-55. For your winner by unanimous decision, from Tamarack, Florida, Hector Perez.
Tough to see it any other way. Hector Perez, now 7-2 in his career as Juan Torres falls to 5-3-1. Got the undefeated Bobby Mominov coming up next. Stay with us.